Hi, welcome to RooSports. I'm Joey Ross. I'm here with my dad Toby, and welcome to Week 7 of college football.
All right,
It's
Joey,
going by
we
fast.
are in the Week 7. It is going by fast. I feel like we just started Week 1 yesterday, basically.
Yeah.
But I mean, here we are at Week 7, halfway through the season, and what a season it's been.
A lot of surprises, a lot of disappointments for some teams. It's
Yeah.
just been a chaotic year.
All right, but before we go into our recap and stuff, we want to do our drawing for our $20 gift card to Chick-Fil-A. And I believe we have a winner.
Yeah, it was Robbie Hare. He won it again.
All right, so congratulations, Robbie. We're going to get you a $20 gift card to Chick-fil-A. Thanks for playing. Okay, Joey, so let's recap Week 6. What a week it was.
Yeah.
Definitely some shakeups, some close games.
Yeah.
What's your take on Week 6?
The big story is OU getting upset by Iowa State and Norman. First loss for Lincoln Riley's career. Devastating loss for the Sooners, and might have decreased their chances of the playoffs. But I think they're still in it. They just got to win out and win the Big 12. And other games, West Virginia and TCU. TCU comes out.
Great game.
Yes. Nebraska squeezes by. Bama squeezes by. There's a lot of games.
Yeah, one game that stood out to me too was Florida and
LSU.
And LSU. That was a pretty good game, coming down to basically
the missed PAT.
The missed point after. That was a pretty good game.
And then
also, what are you gonna say?
Texas and K-State going.
I was gonna say
double overtime.
Double overtime.
Texas pulled it out.
In the Big 12, both teams played really good and had to get a win in double overtime for the Longhorns. And then what about Miami squeaking by?
Miami, what a game changing moment there at the end, throwing it to the right side and they scored. That was just a good play.
So you never know what's going to happen in college football. You don't know who's going to lose each week. You could be favored by 30 points like OU was, and get beat at home. So these teams got to play like it's their last game.
Yeah.
And like you said, OU definitely one game down, need to regroup, and they probably could still make the playoff. It's gonna be a hard road ahead of them. Okay, so Joey, let's talk about your picks. How did you do last week?
I went 5-3, and Dominic Whaley went 4-4.
Pretty good. That's the first time you've beat a guest.
Yeah.
So that's impressive.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was a lot of close games, so that could have went either way with those games.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do a topic real quick, and we're gonna talk about which team is gonna lose first. We got the two top teams. We have Alabama and Clemson. Joey, which team do you think loses first? They could lose in the regular season. They could lose in their championship game, or they could lose that first game in the playoff.
Actually, I kind of think I saw a little bit of, Bama struggling this past. I'm gonna go with Bama. I think Bama loses first.
Okay.
Just because I think Clemson just has like an easier schedule than Bama. Bama's got to go through, Arkansas, Tennessee, Auburn, Georgia.
At the end,
maybe Georgia in the SEC championship.
Exactly, Georgia.
And then, I think Clemson's biggest challenge is Miami,
which would be in
the championship,
in the ACC championship game.
So I see Clemson beating them. And Clemson is just rolling through teams. They beat Lamar Jackson, beating Virginia Tech, who people thought, Kelly Bryant was going to struggle, but he didn't. And their defense is still the best defense in the country. So I think Clemson wins out, and I don't think Bama wins out. I think they lose.
Okay,
before Clemson does.
Okay, so you think they probably lose in the SEC championship game?
Maybe, or before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely, that could happen. Stranger things have happened in the year of college football.
Yeah.
All right, Joey. So we're going to also look at. So a lot of the conferences have really stood out, played great. There's a lot of teams still undefeated in Week 7, but one conference that stands out is the Big Ten. They have 4 undefeated teams. 3 of those teams in the same division. Wisconsin's on the outside looking in, which probably does have the best shot to go undefeated. So who wins the Big Ten? What's it look like?
Well, right now, Wisconsin has the easy schedule, so I see them going into the Big Ten championship. The Big Ten, in my opinion, is the best conference in the nation right now. All the teams. I mean, Michigan State surprised us with the win in the Big House against
we
Michigan.
didn't talk about that.
I know. Ohio State, still trying to figure out what they're made of. Penn State doing what they do is win. So right now, in my opinion, I'd probably say maybe Penn State, just because of Saquon Barkley, Heisman hopeful, who's just been sensational. Had a little struggle last game, but he scored 2 touchdowns and 75 yards. I just think their defense, their coaching, the experience, everything. I think they can beat Michigan, who they're playing here next week. And I think they win. I think it'll be Penn State, Wisconsin, Big Ten championship.
In the Big Ten championship.
And I don't think Wisconsin gives them a challenge.
No, Penn State definitely does look pretty good this year. Okay. All right, so we're getting ready to do our picks for the week, and I'm going to join Joey this week on doing some picks. I'm kind of excited about doing this with him. So don't forget to you can comment on our page here online here at YouTube and pick a game against Joey, and you'll be entered into a drawing next week for a $20 gift card to Chick-Fil-A. All you have to do is just comment on one game that you think Joey is wrong on, and you're entered in. And we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
And also, you can go to our Facebook page as well, and you can comment on our post whenever we post this week's video. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. So we got a couple of big games coming this Friday. We have 2 top 10 teams, undefeated teams, going on the road.
Yeah.
And how do you think what they're going to do? Let's look at number 2, Clemson, taking on Syracuse. All right, Joey, what do you think about this matchup?
Both quarterbacks fighting each other. Dungy and Kelly Bryant both leading their teams in passing and rushing. And I think whoever stands out, and Clemson's defense will play a factor to see how Dunger does. So I think whoever comes out will win, and I got Clemson in this one.
Clemson, and why is that?
Because I think their defense, and I think their defense I think Dunger will have a pretty good game. But their defense would still just be in the way. Of them winning.
All right, I'm gonna agree with you, Joey. Clemson. Yeah. Right now, Syracuse has Steve Ishmael, who is the leading in reception yards for Syracuse in the nation. He's leading in reception yards, so he's definitely going to be a factor in this. So Brent Venables, the defense there for Clemson, is going to have to step up against this guy and hold him. Both teams are averaging, almost 500 yards per game. But yeah, I agree with you, Joey.
Yeah.
Clemson gets this one. All right, and on to the next game for Friday. We have number 8 Washington taking on Cal.
Washington State, Cal. Both teams have done really good. Cal, they're both just playing really good. I think Washington State coming off that win against USC and that win against Oregon, I think that really gives them a little bit boost of confidence. And I think this will be a good fight, but I think Washington State will run away with it in the second half, and I think Washington State wins this. Okay,
yeah, I like Washington State as well, Joey. Luke Falk right now leading the nation in passing touchdowns. So he's just incredible. This guy is just doing and playing so great at the quarterback position, making his throws. Of course, Mike Leach definitely always is going for that high-powered offense that he's used to. So he brings it to Washington State, and he's got his team now at the number 8 position. But yeah, Joey, I agree with you. Washington State gets this game and beats Cal. All right, Joey, on to another shootout, and we're going to look at number 24, Texas Tech, visiting the Mountaineers in West Virginia. What do you think, Joey? I mean,
this is going to be a high-scoring game. 50s. I think both quarterbacks, both teams wanting some, they need a boost of confidence as well. Texas Tech coming off, a good win against Kansas, but before that, losing to OSU by a touchdown. by a little bit of a high scoring game there. West Virginia coming off that loss against TCU, they only lost by 7, on the road. But I think Will Greer, their quarterback, I think he leads them to a touchdown. I really think it's gonna be a close, high scoring game.
Okay. You know what? Who'd you pick?
West Virginia.
I like West Virginia as well. And for this very reason right here, David Seals, 9 reception touchdowns on the year. This guy can catch the ball. Will Greer is going to be looking for him throughout the game. Both teams scoring easily 40 points a game. I got to give it to West Virginia. I think the home crowd gets them. I agree with you. It's going to be a fight. Yeah. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I think West Virginia gets the edge here. All right. And then on to the Red River. It's hard to say. The Red River rivalry, where number 12, Oklahoma, comes into Dallas to take on the Texas Longhorns, who just came off that double overtime victory against Kansas State. What's the key to the matchup here?
Texas silently easing up, in their winning record. OU coming off that devastating loss against Iowa State. I just think OU is mad, angry. I think they take it out on Texas. I think OU destroys Texas.
Okay.
I think Trey Sermon, the running back, also goes out for a big game. I think he shows the whole country, I'm the real deal. So I got OU in this one.
Okay. You know what? I like OU as well in this one. This is going to be a fight. I agree with you. I think OU is going to be ready to take out their frustration from last week's defeat against Iowa State. And what better place to do it for the Sooners than to take it on the Texas Longhorns. So, I've got Oklahoma as well in this matchup. All right, we're going to go to the SEC and look at a couple of Tigers going at it this week. We've got number 10 Auburn going to Baton Rouge and taking on the LSU Tigers.
Both teams, coming off some good wins. LSU coming off that really, really close win against Florida. Auburn coming off that win against, who did they play again? I forgot who they played. Ole Miss, I think.
I think it was Ole Miss.
I think it was Ole Miss.
Oh, Auburn? Yes, came off. They played Ole Miss. Yes.
Ole Miss. Yeah, they really put some points on. They really came out of the gate early. Set a statement. So I think Auburn wins this because of their defense, their running back, Kerryon Johnson, who's just, I think he'll run the ball a lot. Create the play action for them. I think Auburn can win this against LSU.
Joey, I'm on the same page with you tonight, man, because I like Auburn as well. LSU, horrendous game a few weeks ago against Troy. And then squeaking by Florida.
Yeah.
That's not enough against this Auburn team. This Auburn team, and like you said, Kerryon Johnson, who leads the nation in rushing touchdowns. This guy's going to light them up. I'm telling you, Auburn's running the ball really well. A little over 200 yards per game. I like the Auburn Tigers in this one. Joey, back to the Big 12. And a very interesting matchup I like. We're going to see undefeated, number 6, the best team right now in the Big 12, TCU, going to Manhattan, Kansas.
Kansas State, coming off that double overtime loss, is probably not happy with the outcome of that game. TCU coming off that win against West Virginia, that big win. I got TCU in a close one. I think Kansas State's, the quarterback, power with Ertz, who's just been sensational for their team. But their defense, the Kansas State's defense will be somewhat of a factor, but I don't think Kenny Hill will be aggravated. I think Kenny Hill and the TCU Horned Frogs win.
Okay. I'm going to go with the upset here.
Okay. All right.
You know what? Ertz has been playing really good. I think that they struggled against Texas. I think that Ertz is going to, he's a leading rusher as well for Kansas State. Yeah. And I think Bill Snyder really looks at TCU and sees exactly what West Virginia did to kind of shut them out a little bit West Virginia only lost by a touchdown. So I think Bill Snyder looks at that game film, sees what West Virginia does to slow TCU down, and does it at home in Manhattan with Ertz being the key factor, passing, rushing. The Wildcats get the upset. Okay, out to the Pac-12 here, and Oregon visits Stanford, number 23 Stanford. What do you think about this matchup?
I'm going with Stanford here, just because Oregon has a really good rush defense and really putting teams down on the run. That's why they lost last week, because they were playing Luke Falk, who doesn't run. I think Bryce Love, who has 1,200 yards already, we're on week 7.
Yes.
I think Bryce Love in Stanford. I think they somehow, he runs right through the Oregon defense. I think he gets a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. I think Stanford wins this.
Man, I agree with you. Bryce Love doing something special this year. 1,240 yards on the ground right now. Both teams are putting up almost 500 yards. But I gotta give it to Stanford. Stanford's gonna get that rushing game going. They're not known for their passing game, but they're gonna get that rushing game going. A key thing, Joey, here is Oregon only allows under 100 yards a game rushing.
Yes.
So that's gonna be key in this matchup. And I think that Bryce Love is the guy to take that average and bump it up to almost 150. I think he's going to make Oregon pay on the ground, and they're going to get the victory.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and our final matchup is we're going to look at Utah, who is taking on number 13 USC, taking on the Trojans.
Good game here. Primetime ABC. Checked it out with Chris Fallon, Kirk Herbstreit. Both these teams have lost by 3 points this season. Both teams have lost by 3 points.
Wow.
I think I'm going with the upset here. I got Utah. I think Sam Darnold, 9 interceptions. I think he's being careless with the ball, forcing too many passes. I think Utah comes in to South California, and I think Utah pulls off the upset again. I think USC takes her second loss this season against Utah.
Oh wow, that's a tough one, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with USC just because of the fact the home advantage. I love your points about that. Exactly, Sam Darnold is very, very careless with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
9 interceptions. Huntley for Utah only has 2 interceptions, but you know what? They're gonna the Trojans are gonna have to step up if they're gonna want to see anything happen in their favor in the Pac-12, and this is the key game that they need to stay in the Pac-12 championship hunt. So I think that they're going to fight a little bit and want it just a little bit more than Utah. Utah is only allowing 100 yards of rushing, so that's something that the Trojans are going to have to do on the ground and make that a factor in this game. But I like USC just because of the home field and the fact that they need this win to stay in the fight for the Pac-12 championship.
Okay.
All right. Sweet. So those are me and Joey's picks for this week. You can comment below or go to our Facebook page at RooSports, and you can make a comment and pick against any one of Joey's games that he picked. He's got a few upsets in there, and just let him know which one you think that he's wrong on and you're right, and you'll be entered into a drawing for $20 to Chick-Fil-A. It's pretty easy, and you can also follow us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, RooSports.
Thank you guys for watching Week 7 of RooSports. I'm Joey Ross.
I'm Toby Ross.
And this has been RooSports.
Go check.